Hello, and welcome to my meditation. It is a beautiful day in my backyard. My name is Debra Baker, and I am delighted that you have joined me today. This is just one of the most idyllic times of the year when the weather is just perfect. You can be outside and relax and enjoy it. There's a gentle breeze, the birds are singing. Let's begin with our 3 nice deep breaths. And this time breathe a little more deeply into your tailbone. And relax it more slowly. And the third time, all the way down. Did you know that you have 2 lobes in your left lung and 3 lobes in your right lung? It's because there isn't room for a 3rd lobe on your left side because your heart takes up that space. So let's just imagine those 5 lung lobes. And take a deep breath and just imagine filling them all the way up. Hold it for a second. And then completely let it go. I've heard this described as a cleansing breath. So we know that we are infinite spirits having these beautiful, wonderful human experiences. And we're going to begin by relaxing our bodies, but I'm going to plant the seed for what we're going to be meditating about today, and that is regret or no regrets. Yeah. So as you are relaxing your body, I invite you, I welcome you to think about when I said the word regret, if anything came to mind. There's no judgment here, there's no criticism, so chances are something did come to mind. So let's begin just imagining like this beam of white light from the infinite, from the center of the universe, coming down into the tops of our heads. And as it does, it's so funny, you notice the sun found me? Every time I get in the shade, the sun has a way of finding me. There's no hiding. The light, I guess I asked for a beam of light, and here it is. So just imagine it like soaking into your head, relaxing your brain so that you don't have to think any thoughts for the next 20 minutes. All the way through your brain, relaxing all the muscles on the outsides of your head, the muscles around your ears, all through your face. Puff out your cheeks for a second and let those cheek muscles relax. There have been a few times in my life when my cheek muscles hurt from smiling all day. So let's smile. Nice deep smile if you want to. Nice wide smile. And then let all those muscles go. Stretch your jaw out if you'd like. And just feel that relaxation. Feel it go into your atlas. If you have headaches, I've been seeing a new chiropractor, and he told me that if you have headaches, frequent headaches, it could be that your atlas, when I did that it cracked, your atlas, that last vertebrae at the top, could be out a little bit. So let's invite our bodies to relax in such a way that our spines and all of our bones align the way that we need them to. So let's begin that, feeling that white light moving into our axis, our atlas. And then into your neck, our necks. The fronts, if you want to do the stretch, you're welcome to. And then your shoulders. So if you want to pull your shoulders up and then let them go down, just feel that white light soaking into your shoulders so that you are letting go of all of your responsibilities for this little while. Just set them aside. And then feel that relaxation go down your back into your shoulder blades and just soaking around your shoulder blades so that the muscles that are holding them can let go. Bring them forward maybe a little bit and stretch them out. Did a little bit of gardening yesterday and didn't realize it was tight back there. Ah, yeah, there we go. And now feel it go down your arms, your biceps and triceps. Stretch them, move them, wiggle them a little bit if you want to, and your elbows, your lower arms. Move your hands back and forth if you want. And then feel it in your collarbone, moving down into your upper chest, into your rib cage, your lungs, your heart. Just allowing all of those muscles in your upper chest to just go to a neutral position, and then your midsection. Your middle back, your sides, your middle tummy. And moving down into your where your sacral chakra is, which is just below your navel, so not quite into your pelvis, that kind of place between your navel, your belly button, and the tops of your hip bones. And just take a minute to breathe into that. Allow it to expand a little. Whatever muscles are there, allow them to relax and go to a neutral position. And then feel the energy move into your pelvis, your lower back, your hips, all around your tailbone, your lower torso, all the way down to your sit bones. And just, if you want to, wiggle your pelvis around a little bit till it feels just right. And now feel that white light continue down your legs. Your upper legs, around your knees, your lower legs, your calves and your shins, and then your ankles, and all through your feet to the tips of your toes. Imagine that white light is the infinite presence. We are one with the infinite, and so we allow it to move in through and as us. We invite it. It always does, but when we invite it, when we are conscious of it, when we pay attention to it, it moves more. It moves more freely, more fully in through and as us. So just let go. Fill up those 5 lobes of your lungs for a second. And when you release, just let everything go. And we'll do that again at the end of the meditation, because we want to let go of whatever regrets, whatever awareness of regrets might come up. So let's think about regrets. I mentioned last week, I believe, that you probably know, if you've been paying attention to my meditations at all, that I've been working the 12 steps for, three plus decades. And there's great spiritual wisdom in the 12 steps themselves. And in the programs, each one of them has different, things and different, pearls of wisdom. And one of them is the promises. And so with the last 2 weeks we've been talking about the first promise, which is we will not regret the past. The first promise is we will know a new freedom and a new happiness. And the next one, the one we're going to work on today, is we will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. So letting go of regret is a special brand of peace and serenity. So in order to let something go, sometimes we need to be aware of it, sometimes we don't, sometimes we just need to be aware that we're letting something go. So let's just take a moment and imagine this infinite white light going down either into our brains or into wherever in our bodies we may be holding a sense of regret. And going down and just embracing it, surrounding our regret with white light. And I invite you to think of a regret that you might have. I used to say that I regret not going to see my mother when she was dying. So let me clarify. She was in the hospital. The doctors said that, she had weeks, maybe even a couple of months left. But my guide said, go to her now. And this was on a Sunday, and I had already had plans to go on Wednesday. It would have involved taking all 3 of my daughters, who were 1, 3, and 5, across country on 2 flights. It was a big ordeal. It wasn't just a matter of jumping in my car and driving for an hour. And so I asked myself, would Wednesday be okay? And I felt okay with it, even though my guide said, she's dying, go to her now on Sunday. My sense was, define now. Is now like this moment, like put your pen down and dash out the door? Or is it, this week? Because, like I said, the doctors had said it would be several weeks. And so I didn't go until after she died. So she died quite unexpectedly for someone who was dying. Suddenly she died on Monday afternoon, and I regretted that for a long time, because I felt like if I had listened to my guidance that was right there in black and white, I had done an automatic writing, that I would have been able to see her once more before she died. And I've come to realize that it would have been so much harder for her to let go if I had been there. She and I had a special closeness, even though, I've shared that there were a lot of difficulties in being her daughter. But we did have a special closeness, and it would have been hard for her to let go. And she has since, her spirit, her soul has come to me since then and confirmed that, yes, I would have stayed. I would have hung on somehow until after you left. So it turned out to be a merciful act, that I no longer regret. But it also turned out to be a moment of wisdom, because I realized that sometimes you need to go. And so we all make decisions juggling all the things involved, all the factors. Sometimes it's someone else's needs, sometimes it's our own, sometimes it's timing. And so I invite you to just let the peace of the infinite settle into your heart. Surround any regret that you might have, and relax into your faith, and knowing that absolutely everything happens in divine order. So certainly there are things that I've said or done that I wish that I hadn't said or done, and yet I'm still standing, and they are still standing, and we, we work through things. When we let go of our regrets, we give ourselves a deep, deep gift of peace. Regret is, really a form of worry. It's a worry about the past. And worry is useless. Regret is really useless. And so regretting the past is one thing, and wishing to shut the door on it means I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm not even going to look at it. Nothing to see here. Move along. And yet, I have found that it is so empowering when I talk about the things of the past that I would like to shut the door on. The times, the painful times. It took me 30 years to admit that I got into one of the 12-step programs because I had been assaulted. And I just didn't want to admit that. I admitted it at the time to a few people, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So I framed it in a different way. It wasn't that I lied, but it was that I told a different truth. And so I invite you to find someone that you trust, that you deeply, deeply trust, and allow the truth to come out. These meditations for me are a way of telling the truth. I trust the infinite to guide me to share whatever truth I may need to tell, and to frame things in a different way so that different information comes out. And the different information is always for my own understanding. It may be for the other person's as well. So in my weekly meetings the 12-step meetings that I attend, before it is my turn to share, I say a little prayer, which is, God, help me to say, or guide me to say what I need to say, whether it's for me or for someone else. And so I'm saying I'm willing. I'm telling Spirit, and all of our healing hinges upon willingness. So I invite you to be willing to let go of your regrets. I invite you to be willing to allow the past, which is the path, to reveal something to you that you may not have looked at it in quite that way. To allow yourself to see something that in a different way. So I recently, in the last few months, have had to deal with someone who was very, I would describe this person as a taker. Whatever I gave was grabbed up and more, and without giving anything back to me. And I realized that when people are takers, when they seem to be just like sucking up everything we have to give, it's because they don't feel like they're enough. They don't feel like they have enough. They didn't get enough growing up. And when I reframed my opinion of her in that light, I had a huge measure of compassion, which I think is a form of love, and it's also where I prefer to land, because there is peace in compassion. When we have compassion for someone else, we give ourselves the gift of peace, because we can see where they are, we can understand them in a way that allows us to open our hearts to them. So I invite you to open your heart to yourself, and letting go of regret, to love yourself, to say, you know what, I don't need to have that weighing on me anymore. I deserve the peace that comes from this. So just allow your brain, your mind, your body to bring up any pain or discomfort or thoughts of regret, or things about the past that you wish you could change. Just let it bubble up for a second, and then imagine that when you take this next breath, it's like filling up a bunch of balloons with helium. All those balloons of regret and things you'd wish to change. Just take this deep breath. Fill up all 5 lobes of your lungs. Hold it for a second. And when you breathe out, imagine all those balloons releasing so that all those regrets are taken away. It is just miraculous when we become willing. Our effort is a teeny tiny part, and Spirit shows up and supports our effort and blesses us and gives us peace. So our time has come to a close. I invite you to take one more nice deep breath. To remember that you are a beautiful, beautiful spirit. You are not defined by the past or by any regret or any self-judgment, any self-criticism. You are defined as a beautiful, infinite soul having this wonderful human experience. You are whole and perfect exactly as you are. The infinite in me honors and loves and blesses the infinite in you. Namaste.